All right, so we got our new case for our Super 1600 build here, and looks pretty sweet. I pulled it out of the box and checked the lifters. The lifters fit it really good. This is not a hydraulic case. This is a standard lifter case. I slipped some of those hydraulic cases through. People were buying them up, and Ken found this one online. I don't know how he did it, but he found it for a real reasonable price. I want to say it was under $700 for a brand new dual relief valve AS41 case, and that's outstanding. So I was sort of leery when he told me that he could get one for that price, because around here they're $1,100, and that's what they've been selling them for at the shows. But he was able to find somebody that didn't gouge him on it, and he got a really sweet deal. So we got a nice piece now for our Super 1600 build, and hopefully this weekend we'll get back on that. So Ken, sorry to get to see you today. I've been sort of sick lately. I got out of the hospital yesterday, and I ripped some rib muscles up, so I should be healed up enough this weekend to put this together, though. I'll get it all cleaned up and laid out on the bench, and if you want to come over, we can get it assembled for you, because I know you've been waiting. So that's pretty cool, and I'm glad that he got this case, because it just makes the build so much sweeter now. You know, he's got brand new piston cylinders. It's got a really nice set of ported heads. We got the scat cam, scat lifters, and yeah, so I saw Mr. Heavy Chevy was doing his Volkswagen build, and I left him a comment, and I don't know if I confused him or not about the aluminum bearings, but the new model bearings are aluminum backed, and you can get either the Climex, there's the name there, you can ask for those are sealed back still, or you can buy the silver line, and I'll show you the box for those. And a little wobbly still, wambly wobbly. They had me loaded up yesterday, so didn't tell me a whole lot, just gave me a lot of drugs and sent me home. Told me I need to go to a family doctor. So here's the Silverline bearings. Ooh, fireworks. Here's our Silverline. Those are another good brand. These are a little more pricey, but they are also steeled back bearings. So I got some new wavy washers and some new Sealy washers for the 1600 build. But anyway, that's what I was talking about, and a lot of times to avoid this from happening, this is actually an aluminum bearing. You can see where it took the dowel pin out there, because what happens is these grab the flywheel when it gets hot. If you set the end play at 4,000, so you need to open the end play up. That's the shims behind the flywheel there. You should check it with a dial indicator. Just put a dial indicator on the flywheel and put your indicator on the back of the case, and you want to have right around 6 to 6.5 thousandths end play with those aluminum bearings if we have to use them. But those bearings definitely significantly shorten the engine life considerably. So if you can get the steel back ones and you're in there, get those. And the other thing I was talking about is the scat lifters. You don't want the ones with the lube holes in them, because being that you have a used case, once you line bore the case, it reduces the oil pressure in the case, and the more the case runs and squirms in this area here, the more oil pressure it's lost. So that's why you always want to go to a high volume pump. Anytime you do a rebuild, you know, buy the biggest pump you can get, 32 millimeters, 30 millimeter pump, and that'll make up for all the leaks in the cases. But when you use the scat lifter with a hole in it, it's got a 24 thousandths hole. You time that 24 times 8, and you got a pretty big oil leak. So you have more oil pressure loss. So unless you got a really tight case, you really don't want to use those, and those are sort of designed for NASCAR flat tappet cams. And a flat tappet cam in a NASCAR, you know, the oil's fed to it by, you know, a belt-driven Weaver pump, you know, not a little Volkswagen pump. So it's a great idea in the right application, but for the Volkswagen world, it's a sales thing, you know, and it was a way to try to you know, sell something we didn't really need. We needed the oil with the zinc in it, not the lifters with the holes in them. So it doesn't matter if you squirt oil directly on the cam. If you don't have the ZDP, the zinc additive in the oil, it's not going to last. So this is the other thing I got out. I got these heads out, and I took these down the scooter, and of course he picked them apart. So I don't know if I'll be using them. I want to try to return them, but I don't know if that's going to happen. They weren't cheap. And a couple of things that he pointed out that I really didn't look at. One of the things is they're not a USA casting, it's a Chinese casting. And they're supposed to be built off the CB Performance castings, and they're not. And you can see that when they ported them, they didn't change the CNC program, and it looks like the port work went through the port. And instead of welding the head up and resurfacing the intake area, they just welded it up. So in fact, this is the only intake sealing area you got. It's reduced right here. And when we checked it at Scooters with a straight edge, from welding this here, it sucked this down. So this would have to be welded up and then resurfaced now, because it's been pulled down from putting the spot welds in here, and here. The other issue with these is, you know, this is something that I should have seen, and I really didn't look at, because, you know, you don't expect this kind of stuff. But you can see the casting is shitty, as Scooter calls it. And the other thing is they don't even put their name on it. There's no casting number, there's nothing. It's just a Volkswagen head. Well, the rocker arms, the stands are in the wrong location. They're too far down on this head. And there's another issue is right around the head bolts. You can see there's nothing here. It's just a surface for the bolt to go, and then there's a very small lip right there. Well, if you look at the Volkswagen head, you can see how much more beefy and robust it is around the bolt holes. It has this big boss built up around it, and then this boss here is also connected to the side of the cylinder head. So this gives the bolt strength, you know, where you torque it down. And without this here, it compromises the strength of the head quite a bit. The rocker stands are a real problem if you try to run a high lift rocker. These will work with a stock rocker just fine, but if you try to go to anything more than a 125 or a stock rocker, you're going to run into issues with the push rod touching the top of the push rod tube. So the other issue is these push rod tube holes. This one flipped over. The push rod tube holes are in the wrong spot. They're moved up. You can see where these are moved down, and the holes are deeper for the seal to sit in there. So that's going to cause a problem too with the push rod being closer to the push rod tube and rubbing. So you can fix all these problems, but you know, whether you want to, you know, spend any money on these, I don't know. So yeah, so this is sort of like an $800 mistake here for me. But we'll see if they'll take them back. If they won't, I'll have to, you know, use them to the point of failure. But I don't think I'll be able to sell them to somebody, because I don't think they're going to be very good heads. And apparently they've been getting a lot of them back, and there's a real issue with them. So we know the valve job's good. We, you know, the springs are good. It's got the proper spring rate for the cam we want to run. The problem is the strength of the head. The other problem is the head's really not made for a big manifold, and you know, you're either going to have to cut the casting of the head or cut the manifold right here. It interferes with this casting line, or the support they have in there. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Sort of still deciding, you know. I don't know. The only option I would have is to put them on like eBay or whatever, and you know, somebody that's looking for a set of these that isn't concerned with any of that stuff that I just mentioned might be interested in these. I don't know, but I don't want to run them and then have Scooter go, "I told you so." So, but anyway, that's where we're at with that. Sorry about the lack of videos. It's going to be a while. I got to recover, so I sort of just made this one for Ken to let him know that I did check his case out, and I'll get it prepped, and we'll get it over here in the stand, and we'll assemble it this weekend. So just give Andrea a call and or text her. set something up for this weekend, whether it be Saturday or Sunday, let me know. And I'll try to have everything ready to go. We should have everything we need and be good to go. So, but anyway, there you go. I got a double D on this side, and a raggy over here. This is all swollen up. I got a big hump right here, big humpy hump. So they don't know what the humpy hump is. They don't do soft tissue analysis, I guess, at the hospital. This is crazy, so I have to go to a specialist. Anyway, that's what's happening here today. Feeding the cats. It's dark, rainy, really crappy today. It was a good day to stay in bed, and that's what I did. I slept the day away. Still got my Chrysler, but nothing crack-a-lacking with that. It's just like I left it. It was too rainy to mess with that, and I'm gonna be a while before I can stick that in there. And I got an Impala on the other side of the house. I don't know, it just showed up today while I was sleeping, so we might do a little video on that. I think it needs a tranny. But anyway, that's our case. That's a pretty sweet piece. Yeah, you know, you can't beat the price. Under 700 bucks. I don't know what he paid for the shipping on it, but what a sweet deal. So I'll get him to reveal that source. You know, he's just a regular guy. He's not going to hoard them. A lot of the guys, the parts houses that I deal with, are trying to sell these for $1,100, and they offered them up for like $950 to their good buddies. But yeah, Ken apparently knows how to play the game, and he got on the computer and found it on the interweb. So I don't know if he got it from Amazon or, you know, where he found it, but it's definitely a nice piece. So there you go. A lot of you guys haven't seen a brand new Volkswagen case, and that's definitely one of them. So that's a sweet looking piece of machinery there, man. So that's what they look like before they're abused and ragged out. And when you start this way, man, you're just ahead of the game. You got insurance in the bank. So this is a pretty nice one. Anyway, we'll let you guys go. You guys have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And yeah.